Hello guys, I would like to share the first coaching session. I will not bother you guys all the details how I'm doing my work. That's everybody has their own work. But if you have time to check this out, I think it's worth for creating the expectations of what is to come here, okay? I already wrote a couple of times about the numbers as I understood, but today's coaching session was very good with some questions that I would like to convey to you guys, because eventually either it's going to be an easy decision to continue or it's going to be a hard decision to continue. Well, let's see what I learned today. First of all, I got a very good compliment from them. They said they didn't have a client so far who scheduled coaching session before the onboarding. Obviously, I'm very excited, and they told me that they really like that. So because sometimes they have customers who are not very helpful. The company buys them the seat at the table with AI, and then they end up not being motivated to work with them. Well, I proved them that I'm a most motivated person here. So that compliment was well received. Well, I learned today how to approve the messages, because we're doing not a fully automated but a semi-automated version or a feature of this LCAI. The reason for that is to learn the process and make sure that the messages are well. So it gives me a quality control. That's the bottom line. I have no problem with that, and I'm on it all day measuring it. So the numbers are very promising. From their perspective, the AI company's perspective, with a 20 to 30% connection rate based upon connection request is a success. Right now, considering the weekend, we have a 26% respond rate so far. That's very good. Now, so I'm doing manually some of the work here for quality purposes, as I mentioned. Later on, we can fully automate that. I may or may not going to do that, depends as I get more experience here. What I try to press the coach on, but she would not budge, is try to press them for numbers. Where should I put my expectations? And she said, well, she explains all the reasons. We are all valid reasons why you can't really build a number in the beginning, because there are just too many variables: the LinkedIn profile, the market type, the connections type, or the messages, and all that. And I understand that, but end of the day, it still comes down to we are paying so much money a month. The company has so much expenses, and either it's going to be a positive ROI or it's going to be a negative one. If it's negative one, it's not going to go forever. So I know what I need to bring. The first 3 months, 25 units. That's not that's a very reasonable number. But what number of appointments can we expect? And I referred back to the founder. I'm getting emails from him. Automated, of course, but nonetheless, I pay attention to it and I look at the numbers, and they basically saying that 10-15 appointments a week. Well, I can work with that, because even if we close only half of that, okay, that's a good number of sales, presumably. So all I could go on today is the response rate for the connection request. That is good. Now the next will be how many of those conversations will be two-way conversation, because sometimes they just give a thumbs up. It doesn't really tell me much, okay? So I need to convert them into a two-way conversations. Once the two-way conversation is going, our messages are good enough to convert them into appointments, and then am I good enough to make a sale? Okay, that's understood. We are running the financial services, focusing on that segment. And here comes my proposal. She did not entertain, but I will go above her and I will try to get to the owner. even the guy who started this whole thing, even though he doesn't even respond to his own salespeople that much. He's busy programming, I guess. So my suggestion for them would be enabling more LinkedIn clients to be connected to the program. And here is what I'm talking about. When they started out, LinkedIn allowed 2,000 connection requests a month to be sent out. But LinkedIn found out that people abuse the system. And now that went down to somewhere between 800 to 1,000, depending on the quality of it's not a set number. It is a dynamic number, depending on people's how the account's standing. Now, when I told you guys about this program, I based my numbers on the information I got from the initial lady I connected, Albunela, the same person who gave the thing for you, Eric, okay? And she told me the number 1,400, okay? And if you don't have a good enough account, then it's significantly less, but then two things turned out to be more correct or more up to date. And I'm not saying she was lying. She was just not up to date with her numbers. It's not 1,400, but less than 1,000, somewhere between 800 to 1,000 a month. Okay, so it's keep going down. And people with not good enough account, they can't even run Sales Navigator, which I fall into. Okay, that's why I'm using Eric's. That's understood. So my thinking was, well, there are employees at Deeper Network. Why can't we use their account to maximize Elsie's productivity? Now, for that, my coach response was, hey, just buy more seats. And I said, okay, I understand that I can buy more seats. So sure, if Elsie is going to be good to produce us a positive return on the investment, then of course others will at the Deeper Network will join and hopefully utilize the same tech and same tool what I'm exploring now. But I still believe that I have a point here. The AI company started out with 2,000 and now it's less than half, yet we need to bring the positive ROI for the program cost. Now we got it for half price, so granted, we don't have anything to complain about. Anyhow, if I can, I will communicate this request of having multiple accounts so we can maximize effectiveness of Elsie, and having the multiple seats, so obviously they make more money on us. That comes to play when actually people using the interactions, because these messages, the way I interacted is not through LinkedIn account, Eric, though I could, but it's much better to do it through the AI company's interface, the link client interface, because this way I keep AI in the loop. If I were to communicate with those people, and by the way, this brings up an interesting dynamics. If you using your LinkedIn account to communicate with your network, then we have to, well, either yes or no. If no, then you can ignore this. If you say yes, then you need to somehow differentiate the people that I'm prospecting, the new connections, and your old network or people just coming in but outside of the AI program. And why is that? Because if I were to go to your LinkedIn account and communicate to your network there, then AI doesn't know about that. So frankly, I don't even go to your account. It is connected in the back end. I look at it when a coach says to look at it, but that's it. So the link client dashboard, customer interface, is the one that I'm using. That manages everything. It's very good, very user-friendly. I'm happy with it. And today I learned a great deal about how to use it, because Friday when we started it, I heard about the details. Now I actually see some of the operational details, and as time goes by, I will be very proficient with it. All right, to summarize, We are working less than half the throttle on the outreach numbers. So it's not 1,400. It used to be 2,000. Now it's a lot less. My coach says it's not affecting the results. They're still bringing the number of appointments. Well, okay, I would love to believe that. I have to see it. And we need to see how many appointments we really need a week to meet the first milestone, the 25 units sold. So if people just buy one, well, then weekly, it's going to come down to, I need to have 6, 7 of them, which will be, realistic if 10, 15 appointments can be scheduled and I have a 50% closing rate. It's going to be tight, but it's somewhat realistic. If I'm reaching companies that buying multiple units, which that would be the ideal, not just a small business, small operations, but medium-sized businesses with multiple offices, multiple people, and what have you, well, then the 25 will be quite easy to reach. This coming week will tell a lot, okay? The next week will tell even more, and by the time we get into the third, fourth week, we shall see just really how good the messages are working and our target, and we take it from there. I'm not going to bother you guys with more details. I just wanted to share that one so you understand the dynamics. You can put your thinking hat on and say, okay, this is what Zsolt is doing. These are the numbers that is expected. Let's see how things turning out. And I hope the 25 units a week is not going to be an issue. But they also told me that this program needs time to come to a maturation, and for them it's about 6 months. Now, of course, they say that because obviously they want the subscription be cemented into 6 months. I told her that we have 3 months to go, so do your best. It's not going to depend on me. I'm right here handling everything what they tell me to do and more. So we'll see. Okay, that's my update, and yeah, super excited. Can you imagine if it works for me, how many more? From here now you can just scale it. You just scale it from here. That's the whole point. Exploring this, but when we can scale this, guys, this is good.